Yo, what's up, people? This your boy Carlos Miller, the prodigal son. And you rocking with the prodigal son, baby. God is good, Jesus is great. And God don't make mistakes. You may make them, but God don't make them. I just want to talk a little bit. Somebody requested, and shout out to who that was that requested a video. Well, they didn't request a video. I just told them that I was gonna do a video because to try to type all that stuff, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be too much. So what I want to talk about is just how I got to where I am with me getting into the courier services. Right now, I'm doing the medical courier service. I deliver medicine and stuff like that to hospitals and pharmacies and all that good stuff. So, how this started was, one, right before the pandemic, I was looking into different things, and I had stumbled upon this channel called, at the time, he was considered JT Hustles. Now he's considered JT Automations on YouTube. So, shout out to him. But at the time, in my mind, I wasn't really focused right. It was more like you saying how you need a van and this and that, and in my mind, I'm just like, well, I ain't got a van. I don't know what I was thinking about. Like, I don't know why I didn't think to just get a van back then. You know what I'm saying? Because it would have been good money. And, if I would have did it, I would have had a whole lot of opportunities. Because even like the warehouse I go through, since I have a contract, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much all. That's like a lifelong contract. So, unless for some reason the company I go through has a problem with the company that they go through for us to distribute this stuff, unless they have a problem, that this contract will always be here for the longest this company is going. Matter of fact, I know one lady that works in this warehouse, or worked through this warehouse, and she done had her route for 15 years. And there's people in there that been working there for years, and then they got other drivers and got drivers doing routes. So they doing okay, from my knowledge. I'm pretty sure everybody in there that has more than one route or have people working for them, most of them are in the six-figure mark, for my own calculations, you know what I'm saying? There's only one person that has told me they're in the six figures, but I already know they're in the six figures, you know what I'm saying? I can just do the numbers. If I do the numbers with what I do, and compare it to everybody else, I know that they have to be in the six figures, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you got more than one route, you're in the six figures, you know what I'm saying? You banking 100,000 or more, you know what I'm saying? Well, probably, maybe not all that is profit, but you are in the six-figure marks just on the money you made altogether. I'm not in the six figure, but I can see me making six figures here. But it's still good money. Like, for me, it's just amazing that, because I've been a cook for 9 years. And it's amazing that the goals and everything that I was trying to do in that field to make this kind of money, or just the money that I wanted to make. But it was like, can't really make this kind of money unless you a chef. You know what I'm saying? You the chef, you the one running the kitchen, or you the general manager or something like that. And now I'm making that kind of money by just driving a van. You know what I'm saying? Delivering medicine. Nothing to it at all. But that's how I started. But a few years later, you know what I'm saying? Well, let's not skip. During the pandemic, I was laid off from my job. And with me being laid off from my job, I still was able, because they didn't fire us, they just laid us off for the moment. So I was able to put in all my vacation time and my sick time and personal time. I could put everything in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm chilling at home, just, you know what I'm saying, every week, just putting in all my time from my job. Keep the checks rolling. So when that's running out, then I filed for unemployment. So I'm getting paid for unemployment. And I never missed a beat. All my bills was paid. Like I can't really say I've struggled to pay bills during the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? And after it started slowing down, I can't say that. But what started motivating me was me just being at home, but having money coming in. And it's crazy. And I can say this is not to, I know this is a challenging thing to talk about with all we face with COVID and stuff like that. But when they let me go, I wasn't really stressing it. I wasn't, you know what I'm saying, worried about it. I was just like, God is gonna make a way. And and don't mind the camera shaking, like, you know, me being in this van, driving on these roads, because most of the time I'm going through small towns and stuff like that. It's cause I always, you know, wobbling and shaking. But I was like, man, right before the pandemic, I kept saying I need a vacation. But I kept saying, man, I need a real vacation. I need, man, a whole month off or some vacation. That's what I really need. Not no few days, not no week. Because I had been working with no, how I put it, no real just break on myself. Or no, you know what I'm saying, no feet on the brakes, so to speak. Ever since I was like 19, you know what I'm saying? And I think that when the pandemic hit, I was probably around 27. I want to say 27, 28. So I was just work. Matter of fact, when I got married, the next day I was at work because I didn't have no vacation time or nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? So I've always been on the move. You know, I might take a few days off here and there from my jobs. I might have took 5 days off before, but it's just, sometimes you just need a real mental break. And in between that, I was working, a lot of times I was working 2 jobs, and I was in and out of school. I was in and out of college, you know. I go for a semester, I go for 2 semesters, take the summer off. I might want taking a whole lot of classes, but 1, 2, 3 classes sometime a semester. Sometime I took 1, but I always fitted a class in there some kind of way. And then one time I was working 2 jobs, and you know what I'm saying, at least 1 class a semester, and I was just always on the go. So I was like, man, I need a break, man. And the pandemic happened, and I got a real break. Like, I was off for months. And you know, the beautiful part of it was I was off for months while my wife was pregnant. You know what I'm saying? So in the middle of her, I don't know how many months she was, let's just say she was at 5 months, I started to be at home. Like, you know, I'm at home 7 days a week, you know what I'm saying, with my wife. Like, what man gets to be with his wife every single day throughout his wife's pregnancy? You know what I'm saying? That's something that, you know what I'm saying, couples, I can't say really experience. You know what I'm saying? And everything about it for me was just beautiful. And like I said, I'm at home chilling every day. Just chilling. Just eat, playing 2K, working out a little bit. I said a little bit because I gained so much weight, man. I gained a lot of weight. A little bit, looking up stuff on how to make money, and you know what I'm saying, just chilling though. And I was like, man, I want to make this kind of money. What I mean by that, it just put that in my mind. I want to make money while I'm asleep. I want to be able to be at home, but money coming in. You know what I'm saying? So I just started looking at different avenues on how to make money, and I came across vending machines, so I started searching at that, and I eventually got in it. And after some months, I ended up going back to work. I found me another job. One paying really a lot more, but it was just more, so I went with it. But I wasn't feeling that job, and ended up getting another job with that too, and ended up letting both of them go and got another job, and was planning on getting another job, but I just sat down again and just stuck with the one job. So while I was doing that, I just was getting into that entrepreneur mindset, just looking up all kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? And while I was looking up stuff, you know, I ended up stopped working that job so much, and I was just doing all kinds of, just doing like DoorDash, Instacart, another app called Waiter. I was trying to clean carpets on the side. I was just doing whatever, man, just trying to get in that mentality. But one day I was doing a catering app called Deliver That, and I was delivering to a doctor's office. And while I was delivering at the doctor's office, it was a guy coming in, and he had some like packages, like some medicine, like totes with medicine in it. And I knew what he was doing. I was like, yeah, man. I forgot what I told him, and he told me how the company he was working through, but he was working for somebody at that company, or somebody that had a contract with that company. He told me the name of it, and I was still working, so I forgot the name of it, and I was like, man, dog, I done forgot the name of this thing. So maybe that night or the next day, the name of that company popped up on Indeed, and I was like, man, that's the name of that company, man. So I ended up contacting them, and they asked me, did I have a cargo van? And I was like, nah. And they was like, contact us when you get a cargo van. So I went and got a cargo van, and I financed mine. It's not a new one though. It's a 2013 Ford E250. And went up there. She showed me all the contracts they had, and I chose one, and it was already making, doing the calculations, it was already making a significant amount more than what I was making in the kitchen. And the crazy part about it was, I was finally getting the shine that I felt that I always wanted and needed in the kitchen. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got bumped up to a trainer. You know what I'm saying? I had some leverage and authority in the kitchen. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't trying to be the boss, but I had enough leverage where the chef would, you know, listen to my thoughts and opinions. Or if somebody ain't doing good, like, nah, they ain't gonna work out, or I put them on another station because they ain't doing good down here. And actually, that benefited somebody, man, because there's a guy, he's still down now, like, he's doing pretty decent, man. He done rose up. you know, a little bit in the company, and you know, I helped him out with that. You know, I helped him out with that. He came for. Actually, I trained somebody else that was moving up pretty fast, you know, and you know, it was a few people in there that bragged about my training because I did my best to do it right and do it by the book. And you know, my chefs, both my chef, my executive chef and sous chef, loved it. You know, matter of fact, when I was leaving, my sous chef, he really wanted me to stay. He really wanted me to stay because my general manager brought me in the office, asking me to stay and saying one of the owner's son, you know, wanted to come down and talk to me. He wanted me to stay. Like, I was getting what I always wanted. You know what I'm saying? So I always appreciate that company for them because they put that value in me. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Baumhauer's was he's a retired football player. He's retired in the 80s. For mostly played for Miami Dolphins, I believe. He did his whole career at Miami Dolphins. So I really appreciate that company for all their opportunities. But once I got that contract and I seen what I was making, it was like, for me, it was the money close to what executive chefs making stuff. And I was like, man, I'm going for it. And at first they was giving me time. The job I worked for, give me time just to figure out, you know what I'm saying, my route, stuff like that, because they still wanted to use me whenever. But at first I was getting home pretty late and I was like, nah, man, it ain't gonna work out. So I ain't even gonna do it because, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be important times where I need to be at the restaurant and I don't want to be cheating them out of that, like me not working some of the most busiest days and most important days. I didn't want to cheat them out of that, even though they wanted to pay me money that I always been looking for. But I was making that and more, so I was cool with what you know what I'm saying, the route I got. So, but this is finna be a part 2. This just kind of me going through a little bit of the backstory of it. But the second part is coming. Just, you know what I'm saying, be patient, give me time. But I'm gonna just share a little bit with it though. I only have one route right now. I had another route, and they changed me to this route. And this route is paying pretty decent better than the other route. So just to give people pointers if you want to go in this route or this field. Now a lot of people tell you to start your LLC and this or that. I didn't start with all that. For one, I had maxed out all my money, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I was in college in the middle doing my last semester of finally finishing getting my culinary degree. So I was working, going to school, but school was taking into a lot of my time making money. And so, you know, bills wasn't late, but you know what I'm saying, sometimes I had to use credit cards and stuff like that to pay for stuff, you know. But that was the sacrifice of wanting me to finish college and trying to work and go to school. Sometimes when you dedicated to school and finishing, sometimes, you know, everything has a sacrifice, you know, just put it like that. So my money was tight, so I ain't had no money to go out there and get my LLC and a dot, authority, which I don't need none of that right now anyway, just because of the simple fact I'm doing local. But some people tell you to get your diet and this or that. Now, I did do something backwards. I went and got my van, then looked at contracts. But I would advise anybody, go look at all the contracts at a company. You can look up, go online and put in independent contractor, independent courier, put in like independent contractor, cargo van, you know what I'm saying? And find, you know, let those companies pop up on Indeed or Craigslist and, you know, contact the people, go up there, see what kind of routes they got, see what they paying, do your calculations with, how much you're gonna get paid, and do all your deductions for as your monthly bills. And if you're gonna finance a van, do your budget on the van. You know what I'm saying? Do a budget on, I would say, just find a older van that's dependable. But if you buy a new one or whatever you buy, I think it shouldn't be over $500 a month. You know what I'm saying? You don't want it coming too much out of your profits. But if you can save up money to buy one cash, hey, do that. Or if you can save up half of the amount and pay for half of it in cash, so you got a less, a smaller, note on it every month, do that. But I'll say if you go into finance, just do your best to go in, just look at vans, finance one. Don't go in details about, what you're using it for. I'm not telling nobody to lie because I don't believe in lying. But just tell them you're looking for a van. You want a van for yourself. You ain't got to go in detail, because the more you go in detail about what you're using it for, they're going to want to give you a commercial loan. And with a commercial loan, interest rate going to be higher and everything else. So just go in there, talk casual, just looking for a van. You know what I'm saying? Dealers and stuff, they gonna want to try to get all into your business. So just be very conservative in your conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because they almost like the devil. You know what I'm saying? The devil get a crack, he going in. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I say fine. Go look at them contracts first and do calculations on how much you get paid a day, how much it's gonna be a month. Then you can go get you a van based on that price, and you just let the people know, I'm going to get a van. I just want to look at the contracts first, and that's gonna start the process. And then you have to do your background check and drug test, physical, and all that good stuff. But that's the beginning of it. And like I say, right now all I got is one route, but it's paying pretty decent. And right now for the company I work through, there's no routes available because most of the people that's there have been there forever, and they take those routes quick. You know what I'm saying? One lady, she got a whole lot of them. She's a much older lady. She got a lot of drivers around there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them. And everybody else is kind of on a smaller scale. She mainly dominates, but you got somebody else that got like two drivers, and you got a guy in there, he got somebody driving for him. He don't work there, he got somebody driving for him. Another guy got somebody driving for him. It's a sister and a mom work there. The mom is up in age, and the daughters, not the sister, daughter and mother there. The daughter in her 40s, the mom is maybe in her 60s, but they work together, but they have two different routes, so I know they making pretty good. So most of them are taken up. So I'm looking into getting another one, but I'm just trying to find one at night. It's easy to find them during the day, you know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to find one at night to maximize my income right now, for me, before I get another driver, because I can get another route with another company in the morning, but then I had to get another van. And right now I'm just trying to work with my one van, so even if I found a route that was paying good and I can get somebody to drive it at night, or vice versa, somebody drive it during the day, I drive it at night. But I had to get a whole nother van if I want a route in the morning, because I'm driving altogether 7-some hours, 8 hours, but you are obligated to this contract. So I am obligated to get it done no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I don't get it done that day, I get a fine, $150 some dollars, because I'm obligated to do this route. This is the contract. You violate it, you know what I'm saying? Every day you don't do it, or you don't have nobody do it, it's $150. So I gotta do it, you know, and you know, it's no option. But it's cool because it's worth it because of the money. The money is worth it, and I'm just so thankful, man. But things happen in sometimes the most strangest ways. Like, I just bumped into a guy and started talking to him because I know what he was doing. He pointed me in the right direction. I talked to them to go get a van, and now I'm making pretty decent money, at least for me, because working in the kitchen, unless you the chef, you ain't making money like that. You know what I'm saying? And the only way you are making the okay money is you working 2 jobs. So, you know, I still love to cook, and I'm gonna venture off and do my own thing, maybe a food truck or something. But I just encourage people, if you're gonna be a cook, if you're trying to rise up in the kitchen, there's a few things you gotta do. And I know I'm getting off topic, but I'm just saying, you have to keep your bills low, don't get crazy in debt, and grind out the money you make and put it to the side and save it. You know, live below your means. You know what I'm saying? And I would say get 2 jobs. If you got 1 job, really live below your means and don't be trying to go out there and blow your money on dumb stuff. Save your money. Save it up, because working as a cook is not the most profitable. Not until you get into those management positions. It's not profitable like that, you know. And I'm not here to discourage nobody, because to be honest, probably some of the most fun times I had in the kitchen is the times I made the least. And I loved it. And I'm not discouraging nobody, but you got to understand that you can't go out TV and all that stuff, man. If you're not the chef most of the time, you're not going to be making the ideal money. You know what I'm saying? You making the bottom of the totem pole. Not saying, you know what I'm saying, like in my area, people probably getting paid $15 an hour. You know, you got some that's paying $20, $18. But you just got to really budget your money and live below your means, and don't be trying to go ball out with your money. But if you get 2 jobs, you can do, you know, you can do better. Even if you you got 1 full-time job and a part-time job in the kitchen. Now, when I had a second job, I always kind of fluctuated. Sometimes I go hard full-time with it. Sometimes I tell them drop me down part-time. And in the middle of that, I be hitting the plasma center, trying to get an extra 100. You know what I'm saying, out the week. But this is just the beginning. I'm going to explain it a little bit more. I know this is a little unorthodox compared to my channel, you know, but just give me time. I'm going to end up making another channel for this, to discuss this kind of stuff. But I just wanted to put some stuff out there for the person that messaged me or put it in the comments about doing it. But hey, no, God is good, Jesus is great. Understand this, that you're never too far lost that you can't be found. Because I was found when I was lost. I was lost when I was found. And I am the prodigal son, brought back by the cross.